Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll try to analyze the war in Israel, the conflict that has been raging for over a week. We will be looking at the heart of the matter, why it has come about, what is leaving the situation in the near future, what are the expectations of the world, what is coming to us, how will two sides behave, what will be the atmosphere around this conflict. We will also seek guidance from the universe, and we will learn the outcome for the near future. Without further ado, I'd like to start with the bottom of the deck. And the Ten of Pentacles tells us that this conflict is a long-standing issue. It has been going on for hundreds of years, and it's not going away easily. This is something that touches our hearts and families. Look at this grandfather and the grandchild representing a family and stability, but it has been going on for some time. In the heart of the matter, I see the King of Cups. This is usually a very sweet, diplomatic individual, but at this time, he has lashed out as the Knight of Wands without thinking situation through. And this war is an emotional thing. When it has been started, there is no end to it, because the situation is out of hand right now. It's emotional and people are being enraged by what's going on. Why? Why is this happening particularly now? And if we look at it, then we'll see that it's a sacrifice that people have been making for a long time due to the passive reaction of the world before this, due to the routine that they have endured for a long time and nothing has been done. Sacrifices have been made, and some of the people that are involved think it's their duty to do it. So that's why it's happening. Interesting. What's leaving the situation in the near future? The Queen of Swords may represent a country that has been a peacemaker for some time, but for one reason or the other, it decides to leave the situation. It will be factored out of the equation, and we will see what's going to be. Expectations are of the people involved in the conflict do everything in their power in order to win. The magician says, I have the wit, the power, the money, and the desire to do something and to be victorious. The world is expecting something to be done immediately, and we'll see if it matches the actual outcome at the end. What is coming in the near future? Victory, pride, and acclaim is coming to one of the sides. But remember, we cannot say who this side will be at the moment, because this is a victor, but he hasn't won alone. He has won with the help of many others, and they could be other countries, they could be just a number of soldiers or whatever, but it looks like victory is coming soon, so hopefully it's not going to be a long issue. How will both sides act? Israel is represented by the King of Swords. This is a very smart individual, cold, very serious about what he's doing. He will think many times before acting, but when he acts, there is no stopping him or the country or the entity, and there is no appeal to whatever he has decided. So it will be a very strong, steel response. Another side, I will call it Palestine, is represented by the Queen of Cups. Intuitive, very emotional woman that is vulnerable, and I would say that they will feel very vulnerable, the Palestinian side. And they will be very emotional, so a lot of emotions will be raging. Israel will be very strong, cold-hearted, cold-minded in order to be successful. If we will look at the overall atmosphere around the war, look, the angels have signaled to us to rise up and to change something, because this is a judgment. It's a judgment day for the conflict that has been in the world for many, many decades and centuries. People need to realize something. Maybe around will be the judgment of the world, the judgment of the spiritual side of the world. People will feel a calling inside. Maybe many people will go to the side of either country, or I don't know, either side, how we would call them correctly, I'm not sure. So judgment of inner calling, and probably some will be calling to even forgiveness, because we need to be reborn from this horrible thing that keeps destroying lives and families and children. Let's see what is the advice of the universe for the near future. And the Hermit says, think through what you're doing, because this is something very important. It's not a joke. You have to retreat to a position of safety and then make your plan. Very, very calmly think about the situation. Work on your past mistakes and work on your past, on the mutual past of these particular sides of the conflict. Work on it. And of course, with psychological issues, because it all stems from our perception of things, or the perception of things of the sides of the conflict. So it needs to be worked through. In the near future, what is the outcome? We have to wait for the fruits of our labor. It's not going to come easy, but we have to understand that the seeds have been planted, and in order to get the reward, we need to change the course of our actions. And maybe in order for us to be successful and victorious, that's what we need to do, as the universe suggests. Retreat. Think about what has been done wrong and what psychological barriers there are between the two sides. And then consciously and mindfully try to understand what have you done, because this is not a joke. The atmosphere around is the atmosphere of the last day of judgment. No matter how vulnerable, no matter how cold-hearted, we have to come together and find a solution. Victory is definitely coming soon, but whose victory and at what price? Remember, we cannot have a stalemate for too long and leave the situation unattended. It's like a disease that will kill in the end. We will see who is this country or person that leaves the conflict, that stays away. Sometimes if we are looking at people, then the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords could be a pair. So maybe if the King of Swords is represented as a representation for Israel, then the Queen of Swords is an ally of Israel. So as a summary of this, a thought has come to me that it might be someone who was on Israel's sides. It will be leaving soon. And again, remember, although the expectations are very high, something should be done immediately. There will be calls to it, and there is a possibility to end it as soon as possible. But for some reason, we will be waiting. What will we be waiting for? I don't know. To see what will come out of it. Maybe negotiations. Maybe see who is going to act how. We don't know. It's behind the scenes. But keep that in mind, that it can be done. Thank you so much for being with me, and give me your feedback.